Welcome back to Intrendias. We're looking at Delta DAL ticker stock here. Is Delta a potential play for this earnings season? I think there is some potential in this stock. I'm going to get right into it with Intrendias.com buy and sell signals. Here we see Delta up 16% in the past 2 years, while Intrendia's buy and sell signals are up 38%. Based on the volume breakout algorithm, buy and sell signals. Here we see not only automated price levels in white, we also see the buy and sell signals in green and red, and then some EMA patterns here with these average moving line charts here. Basically, we saw the last sell signal in February 23rd for the volume breakout algorithm. Currently, no recent Delta signals here. If we switch over to the MIA algorithm, same thing. Delta's up 16% in the past 2 years, but Intrendia's is up 37% based on this 2-year backtest. Most recent sell signal, May 15th. No signal as of late. However, when I'm looking at the technicals, I'm seeing some bullish confluence here, some bullish moves for Delta stock right before earnings. Initially, what I'm seeing is the Fibonacci sequence, this 0.38 to 0.61. These are some support levels that the Fibonacci speaks out. And we see that the closing price of Delta has dragged down for some time. The stock is already down around 13% from a high back in May 10th. This was around $53 a share. Now we're sitting around $46 a share. Finally, we're also seeing the VWAP and EMA 200 converge into this 0.38 to 0.61 Fibonacci golden zone right here. Essentially, we're looking for this confluence of these support levels, not only in the Fibonacci, but also the EMA and VWAP. Hopefully, the Delta stock would bounce off of this support level here. So we have Fibonacci zone, we have VWAP and EMA all converging into this zone right here, potentially leading to Delta moving to the upside. And this is happening all right before earnings. Not only that, if we zoom all the way out, we see that Delta has been on a bullish uptrend, albeit very volatile. We're seeing swings from $27 to $49, back to $30 to $53, and now here we are at $46. So we're seeing a bullish uptrend since June 2022. We've been seeing this very volatile but still bullish uptrend. So we could potentially see Delta continue this bullish uptrend going into earnings and after earnings. Not only that, we have seen this white line up here that I've drawn out, this diagonal white line. I'm seeing this line as a potential support and resistance line here. We've also seen this line break multiple times as well. Here we have another support, and then finally, resistance right here. So finally, perhaps this once resistant line would act as a support in the near future right here, seeing Delta move to the upside. So those are some of the technicals that I am seeing on this chart for Delta. Very interesting forecast as well. Analysts are predicting high moves for a 1-year forecast in Delta with a max of 81% upside, $85 share price. So very interested in this stock right here, seeing a lot of potential. Moving on to fundamentals, I wanted to highlight some key fundamental analysis that I'm looking at for Delta. Initially, I'm looking at CCL stock, Carnival Cruise Line. They reported earnings a couple weeks back, and they're looking at strong booking momentum with record volumes of 2025 sailing. So I'm trying to think ahead and think, okay, If Carnival Cruise Line, which is a leisure stock, is seeing bullish momentum, bullish bookings, great quarter, they're seeing bookings all the way out to 2025. What's another leisure stock that we could feed into this play? And that's going to be airlines. So from CCL's quarter two earnings, they saw a 10% stock jump on the day of earnings because they highlighted revenue record, which was the uh, reported record second quarter revenues of 5.8 billion. So a quarter two record. They achieved operating income of 560 million, 5 times greater than it was back in 2023, and they had improved net income nearly $500 million higher than it was back in 2023. So we're seeing increased revenue numbers, income numbers, but also increased guidance. Full year 2024 guidance was raised by CCL. The net yield guidance was changed to 10.25%, and they increased the full yield adjusted net income guidance. And then the early bookings for 2025 was even higher than 2024. So prior to 2025 even happening, they're already seeing a better year compared to 2024, both in price and occupancy. So they are seeing future strong demand going into 2025. And as we discuss strong demand in bookings and decent capital management and refinancing. So we're seeing some good readings from CCL. What's the next leisure stock to potentially dive into this play? That's going to be airlines. Delta is going to be the first one to report in the airline industry. So we've seen great numbers from quarter one, such as operational performance and cash flow. What I'm more interested in is talking about the guidance Delta provided in their quarter one report, especially for full year 2024. This is where they provided free cash flow of $3 to $4 billion for full year 2024. So then I go to the historic data, and I'm looking at 2019. This is the full year 2019, where Delta had a market cap of 37 billion back in 2019, where their free cash flow was $3.4 billion. So let's assume today, 2024, is complete. We're in December, and let's say this guidance was correct, and 3 billion in free cash flow was produced in 2024. So I'm going to put 3,000 right there. That represents 3 billion. And then their market cap as of today is around $30 billion. So that makes a price to free cash flow of 10 compared to 2019 when it was at 10.8. And this is where I think it gets pretty interesting. If 2024's full year free cash flow for Delta is $3 billion, then the expected market cap would be the 10.8 and multiplied by the $3 billion, which makes 32.4 billion, which would cause Delta's expected share price to be around $50 because there's 640 billion of these shares outstanding. So Delta's current price, when I performed this calculation, was at $46 a share. So that means there's around a $4.50 upside or 10% upside, assuming this apples to apples scenario where I'm comparing the free cash flow and the market cap back in 2019 and comparing it to today, 2024, assuming Delta achieves a free cash flow of $3 billion, and we assume that it's appropriate to compare 2019's market cap to today's market cap. Obviously, there are many reasons why we shouldn't compare 2019's market cap to today's market cap or assume free cash flow of 3 billion back in 2019 should be priced the same as 2024 because interest rates are higher. So borrowing money is a lot more expensive. So it's going to be more expensive for companies to borrow money to expand their business. And crude oil is a lot more expensive now. I think back in 2019 it was about 60 a barrel. Now it's in the 80s. So prices have gone up, and that's going to eat into their bottom line. So, but not only that, with the interest rates up, you could park your money in a more safer asset, whether that be treasury or say even just the retail investor. You could go get a CD at 5%. So perhaps people are parking their money in more safer securities, safer investment vehicles. So there's a lot at play to argue that it might not be appropriate to compare 2019 to 2024. However, just from this comparison, if Delta was creating $3 billion back then, why shouldn't the stock price reflect that in 2024? So, based on that 2019-2024 scenario, there could potentially be a 10% upside in Delta stock, assuming they achieve that $3 billion free cash flow. Obviously, the stock can go way higher, way lower after earnings and beyond. So, this is not financial advice. However, this is a model that I created in Excel, and I was pretty interested in showing you guys this. There's also a potential for 4 billion because again, that free cash flow of 3 to 4 billion guidance, that 3 billion is the lower end of that guidance, so it's pretty conservative. If we put in 4 billion, that would create a 46% upside and a Delta stock price of $67 a share, $21 upside. So a lot of potential for this stock. Analysts seem to agree, as we just saw in TradingView, a lot of bullish stock price estimates for this stock. So could be a decent play this earnings season, and it could potentially be a long-term position to be had even after earnings. So I'm curious what you guys think about Delta stock. DAL is the ticker. Delta Airlines. What do you think about the stock? Let me know down in the comments section below, and I appreciate you watching this video. Check out intrendias.com for free buy and sell signals on your favorite stocks, cryptos, and Forex, and I will catch you guys in the next one.